And I would like to call Rex Dennis to share your experience, strength, and hope. Next panelist.
Greetings, everyone. Addict named Dennis from the Northern New York region, Northeast Zonal Forum. So my experience through the pandemic, I've been less of a hands-on meeting with professionals, being out there doing direct public relations like Wolvina and Shane and others, getting with the professionals and doing those panels. I've been more of a back-end support, helping support all those efforts. For example, Wolvina led a really excellent virtual conference last year that had 3 separate meetings across 3 weeks that invited professionals and addicts to share together. And my role in that, I wasn't a panelist, I wasn't a discussion lead of any kind. I helped support the breakout rooms and help support the technology behind the scenes. Another example is out of that virtual conference, there was a series of videos, and I posted some of those in the chat here that deal with the topics of virtual H&I into prisons. Presentations by Tom from New Mexico, and I forget his name, but a gentleman from California. I'm going to start sharing screen now. I'm going to kind of walk through a few things. Here's an example of one of the videos, and you can turn on captions, not perfectly translated, but auto captions. I turned on Farsi here.
Works and make the transition to attending regular meetings. I'll get into more detail about our format later. There are so many reasons why this format works well, but it really comes. Or
the one by Tom.
Make sure that everything actually is just as secure, if not more so. So you want to make as few changes as possible. At least at start, just use the NA volunteers that would normally be cleared in the standard volunteer procedures to bring in a physical.
So those are just a couple examples. So to back it up a little bit, when the pandemic first hit, Shane really got on the ball for getting out there with weekly webinars to help everyone come together and learn how to do this virtual platform. The challenge we had was getting the information out there. So we came together and formed a YouTube channel and NA.Virtual.Outreach. And that's the YouTube channel Amitabh was referencing. I actually have a few other APF videos, PR videos pending that will be up in the next week or so. There are other APF PR videos in here already. And there's, I believe, a couple hundred videos in here at this point on a variety of topics. So this is one example of doing back-end support, helping use technology to get the message out there, more so to help others be better equipped to get the message out there. I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of years teaching how to Zoom, how to do hybrid meetings, local areas, how to utilize different technology such as the BMLT. I know there's some members on here familiar with what that is. Very simply, it is a much simpler and easier to maintain meeting database and collection of tools that all point to that. So the other things that I've been doing have been finding ways to make it easier for fewer people to reach more addicts, whether it's providing subdomains on our web host for our region to all of our areas for free, and then helping those areas utilize the tools that will make it easier for addicts that haven't found us yet to find us, helping areas get on the regional phone line that utilizes the BMLT. This is called YAP. And we have addicts that are able to find meetings by text message on here, or can call this one number and connect to any local volunteers or area in New York. And they don't have to know I'm in the Finger Lakes area or I'm in the Recovery as Possible area. All they have to know is this phone line says it's NA and I need to talk to somebody or find a meeting. They call it and it will take care of connecting them to the local members. Or recently adding features to a meeting search. For right now, this is set for the US, but the tools that I added into this can be used anywhere the BMLT, which stands for Basic Meeting List Toolbox, anywhere that is active, this can be added in. But find the local area and regional information,
در
website,
اصل وستن به انجمن رو در بر
area, region, area, website, helpline, region, website, helpline. The purpose for all of this in here is to cast a bigger target so that it is that much easier for anybody to find NA, whether professional or addict on the street. Professionals already have enough on their plate. They don't want to have to dig and spend excess time navigating websites and searches to connect to us. And addicts, as we all well know from personal experience, have this narrow window of opportunity that we call that moment of clarity. And if that addict can't find us in that window, they may be lost forever. So the easier it is for someone to find us quickly and accurately, the more likely it is one more addict will stay clean. So like I said, a lot of what I do in the last 2 years isn't right up front with the professionals. It's helping the active members like Wilvina and Shane and everyone that is really out there with their boots on the ground, like helping everybody get farther and get the message out there. I've helped all of our areas in Northern New York utilize these technologies. I just got the Rochester area set up with business cards for the first time. They haven't had them in a decade. And our business cards are very simple and attractive. And they have that phone number on there that you can send a text message to find a meeting or call to talk to somebody, either or. And it is extremely easy to maintain. I had someone earlier this evening message me a meeting update while I was eating supper with my daughter. I put my fork down, grabbed my phone, one website, 2 minutes later, their meeting information was updated. And this meeting list generator was updated. I can give this link to professionals. And as long as I'm keeping the meeting information up to date on a separate spot, this information is up to date immediately. So a lot of these tools help with that issue that Wilvina talked about the information falling behind and not being like the meetings starting and ending and closing and opening and virtual and all that. Like all these different tools help the information be active and accurate so that you don't run into that desperate addict going to a spot that there's no meeting. So real quick, I will show, this is all it takes to edit a meeting for us. Meeting editor. I'm going to say Finger Lakes area, search. Right here was the meeting that I edited earlier. They changed their meeting time by half an hour. I'm going to change it back. Save. Over here, they are right there listed as 6:30. Refresh. Loading. Oh, look, the meeting list now says 6 p.m. It was that easy. And also our phone line that has that meeting search, our meeting map, everything was updated with that one click. Change it back. And there are multiple members in this Zoom right now that can help get this going for anyone, anywhere, or assist with translations to get it set up. I know, Roger, for example, you were responsible for getting New Zealand up and running on this. So we can help. An example of this being useful for me, I jumped on NA Bali's website earlier. First meeting list I clicked went to a dead link. That is not good. I mean, I know we are all doing the best we can, but that is an example of setting things up like this can mean the difference between life and death for an addict. So all of this just makes it easier for when Wilvina, Shane, and everyone else goes out there, meets with professionals. They can point back to this, point back to our websites. Here's where you can find us. Here's where you can send your clients to. And then Facebook, we spend $1 a day in Northern New York. That's it. But a full third of our traffic for our website comes from this. 1/3 of it on any given month. And we spend $1 a day to boost one of the flyers on here. I also have presentation on resourcing your community. There's a PSA. There's a handful of PSAs that can be easily edited that I've edited for I don't know how many areas and regions. Actually, here's an example of my archive of video editing for the last 1.5 years. Ironically, before the pandemic, I'd never edited a video before. So it's been a work in progress learning this, but PSAs. And then all the different projects and what we're doing here tonight, I will end up on my plate to edit, but everything I've got up here is all different things that I've done that wasn't me any great anything. It was just helping someone else have another tool in their box, help another addict find us. Oh, and over here, like I can look on, I know this doesn't mean anything to anyone that doesn't use this, but like I can look on here and see that this month we had 75 meeting searches by text to our region. I know by figuring out these numbers that we had another 35 or 40 meeting searches by voice, by call. And then there's also all these other minutes of talking to volunteers. And real quick, every time we get a business card out in any area, our meeting searches go up, our web traffic goes up. Business cards are usually more popular and more effective than meeting lists. Very simple. Anyone can stop. You want us? Here we are. You can call us or text us. Sometimes we addicts, that phone can weigh an inordinate amount. So texting can be a lot easier for someone that's scared. So that is my presentation, so to speak. It's mostly technology. It's been one of my skill sets for a while. And when the pandemic hit and technology became much needed, I was much more effective in helping others learn and get farther than I could have been being out there doing anything with the professionals. So I'm perfectly content being behind the scenes. And that's it. Thanks for letting me share.
Wow. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Wonderful.
I will open just for 2 questions because we still have 2 more panelists. So please, if you can make it simple question and quick, that will be amazing. Because it's 2 o'clock already now for Wilvina in the morning and Dennis. So yes, it's only 2. And then I will open again later after the 2 of the panelists.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. That was really good. I was really interested by your really good presentation. I'm really interested about technology. I just wanted to ask you, if possible for us, actually ask Said-ish, is it possible for us, actually, Said, it would be really good in order to ask Dennis and these guys in order to add our information in your area, you know, Shemiran, to their own, you know, website. It would be really a good idea. And another thing is that I had a really good experience, actually, a little, you know, I mean, cooperation, not really cooperation with these guys. They made a really brief video for our in Farsi, and I just wanted to suggest to other guys in order to have a, you know, cooperation with these guys. They are really perfect and really good about this. And I just wanted to ask, if possible, Dennis, if possible, please, as a sample, please play really briefly a short part of this video which you made in Farsi about PR in Farsi for us, and that would be really good. And thank you so much.
برنامه NA چگونه کار می کند؟ معتادانی که روی بهبودی خود کار می کنند اساس و پایه NA هستند. اعضا مرتباً یکدیگر را ملاقات می کنند تا درباره تجربیات خود در بهبودی صحبت کنند. اعضای با تجربه تر معروف به راهنما به صورت جداگانه با اعضای جدیدتر کار می کنند. هسته اصلی برنامه NA 12 قدم است. این قدم ها مجموعه ای از راهنمودهایی هستند که یک رویکرد عملی را برای آنها تبیین می کنند. بهبودی با رعایت این دستورالعمل‌ها و همکاری نزدیک با سایر اعضا به دست می‌آید. معتادان یاد می‌گیرند که از مصرف مواد مخدر دست بکشند و با چالش‌های زندگی روزمره روبرو شوند. معتادان گمنام یک سازمان مذهبی نیست و هیچ سیستم
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The fun part about that too, which I actually enjoyed it, but was, because I don't obviously speak Farsi, was figuring out when each phrase was being said so I could highlight the lines to make it flow better. So I would use my phone with Google Translate, listen to a little bit and figure out where the pauses were and go from there. It worked. It was fun.
Thank you. Thanks, Dennis. Wilman.
Yeah, Wilman and Adik from Jakarta, Indonesia. I want to thank you for Dennis for the presentation. I'm the one who responsibility with the Jakarta website and the Zoom admin in Indonesia. So is it possible, this is a favor to ask you for Dennis, is it possible to make the PowerPoint or PDF that you present so I can follow you, or so I can copy or do the same thing that you did? So I just lost track when you presented, so it's really helpful for me. Thank you, Dennis.
No problem. And when this is all done, I'm assuming I'm the one that the video content is going to be sent to edit and anonymize. So when that's done, you can get a copy of that. But also, Roger in here is experienced with getting set up with BMLT technology. So he would make a great contact right there and helping your community get online with that.
Wow, thank you.
And just to add, our web chair at the APF, web servant Bappa, he's managing the BMLT for India. So Roger and Bappa are here to help as well, Wilman. and Apu in Bangladesh. Please get in touch.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilman. Thanks, Dennis.